AI is a laser-focused company reshaping the way that software-as-a-service companies approach retention and user engagement. The goal is to empower marketing and growth teams to enhance retention and deepen connections through artificial intelligence. And with me is the CEO, Itamar Falcon, to tell us more about Coho AI. So I guess you give me an overview of the business and exactly what it is you're doing.
Of course. So we're helping SaaS companies, as you mentioned, to increase user retention. And we're doing it by reshaping the way we're looking at users. Traditionally, we looked at users practically the same, even though there is a lot of nuances, right? So what we're bringing to the table is an AI technology that managed to customize the customer journey for every single user and personalize that engagement to maximize the potential of every single user in our user base.
Okay, so give me an example how it might work with the company. Would these be retailers or what kind of businesses?
So we're focusing on software companies, companies with a software that the main product is the actual software. Like think of your favorite to-do list application or navigation application, any application that you're actually using on your phone. There are nuances of the way you would use the application. The way you would use it is different than how I'm going to use it, and the difference in value, right? Value creation is different. And we're bringing that nuances to the table instead of looking at every customer in the same way.
I see, okay. And explain a little bit about the information. What can be gleaned from this technology and how can that help a business?
So it's all about identifying the best next action that we need to take on every single individual. When you have millions of users, it's a problem, right? It's a scalable problem to really understand what will take that user to become a loyal customer. So with our platform, you can have and understand that nuances and actually act on those nuances at scale to manage a more robust retention strategy.
Okay, and retention is key for businesses. They want to keep those customers. So how does this help that? How does this help them retain those customers?
So it's bringing a new way of thinking to retention. I totally agree. Retention is one of the most important metrics today. And in order to increase retention, especially in software applications, you have to provide value, right? There are so many competitors out there. The nuances, it's not based on the differences in features. It's based on delivery, how fast and how easy it is to get the value that I expect from the software. And because there are nuances to the users, we have to identify those nuances and act on them and treat it differently in order to provide the value that you expect and not necessarily what the vast majority of users would expect.
And how has retention traditionally been measured?
Exactly in the opposite way, right? I was a product manager before becoming a CEO, and we were always looking at what is the best action that we can take in order to impact a majority of users or a vast number of users, instead of looking from the other way around, saying, what is my actions available for me and how I can tailor that action to the right user at the right time. In that way, we can actually impact more users for the long term.
And I guess the way we used to do is customer service surveys and things like that, but this actually really digs into the data and finds out what people are actually doing on there. Why was there a need for a change? I mean, it seems kind of obvious, but how is this able to really make a difference for a company?
So I think what we're bringing to the table is not necessarily something new in why people are thinking about this problem the same way. It's around, when AI comes into play, you have new technology that can help you do and iterate around the process faster. So, the process that we're following is a process that, as a product manager, I did the same. I looked at the data, I found patterns, I tried to act on them, and I did it again. But what we're bringing to the table is a way to do it faster, over and over, and at scale to millions of users.
Yeah. And then in terms of having a company or somebody's interested, they're watching this interview, where do they even start?
So first of all, contact us at Coho AI. We would love to chat.
Go to the website.
Go to the website. You can send me an email, itamar@coho.ai, but also the website. And I think the first step is really to identify that AI is bringing new things to the table, and you need to re-strategize around that and evaluate new strategies that you can that is being brought to the table, and Coho AI is definitely one of them.
Yeah, okay, so perfect segue into my next question, which is just AI in general.
Yes.
It feels like it's just exploded this past year.
Yes, absolutely.
It's being used so often, a lot of times we don't even realize it. I mean, where do you see this going? How will we be using AI, say, in 10 years or so?
In 10 years, wow.
3
10
years, 2 years.
Maybe,
okay.
yeah. I think we are in a tipping point where the technology is now in a sense that it's mature enough and usable enough to the point that now we would see significant changes in the market, in industries, right? And this, I think, what will lead the new revolution. Not necessarily a better, ChatGPT 5 won't make the difference. What will make the difference is the implication to the day-to-day that we're having, the application that we're actually using. And I think that is a major change that we'll see very soon. Companies that will adopt AI technology in their work will thrive, and companies that will see this technology as something less mature and not act fast enough probably be replaced very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So I predict that we'll see major shifts in the industry, in the tech industry in general.
Okay, thank you so much, Inmar, for coming and explaining Coho for us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Thanks.